So as just about everyone and anyone expected, Apple today announced its MacBook Pro M4 refresh lineup. And naturally, I have a few thoughts, although this one's interesting because realistically, the most exciting thing about these particular laptops are that they're basically just spec bumps. I mean, the physical design on the MacBook has not substantially changed. They still look like MacBook Pros. What's really exciting here is what's going on under the hood, and an awful lot of that, of course, was sort of announced when they talked about the M4 and the M4 Pro for the Mac Minis yesterday, and of course the M4 Max, but I think everyone could see that one coming as well. This very much is your kind of classic speed bump. It totally is. There are, of course, other upgrades in play here. Upgraded cameras, screen options, brighter displays, Thunderbolt 5 on selected models. All of those are good, but all of those are what you might call expected technical upgrades. They haven't radically redesigned the MacBook this time around. Or sorry, I should say the MacBook Pro. And all of this is fine for the target market that wants a MacBook Pro, to be clear. Apple's under some pretty heavy pressure in terms of performance, so even the pricier MacBook Pros have a lot to live up to. Not that they're inexpensive. I made a comment yesterday that Apple doesn't really believe in the existence of the word cheap, and that's absolutely true for the MacBook Pro line, especially at the top tier. Here in Australia, the cheapest M4 MacBook Pro will run you $2,499 with an M4 processor, 14-inch display, 16GB of RAM, and a 512GB SSD. But what if you wanted a pumped-up MacBook Pro 16-inch with all the trimmings? Well, if you want that, and you get quite a lot of machine for it, you'd need 11,529 Australian dollars to do so. And again, to be fair, those kinds of machines are often purchased by businesses where the productivity gains they represent might make them worth it very rapidly indeed. Another nice, quieter upgrade here, and it's kind of, I suspect, more to do with factory processors than anything else, is that 16GB is now standard on the MacBook Air. Now, we didn't get M4 MacBook Airs today. They, I suspect, won't come through till next year because the Air is Apple's entry-level line. I mean, I've been doing this long enough, I can remember when the Air was actually a premium line, but it ain't no more. And if I was the cynical type, yeah, I might say that it's probably also a balance of it being more cost-effective for Apple's foundry partners to just throw 16GB of RAM into the SoC for all Apple processors shifting forwards, rather than having the separate 8GB lines to deal with. But 16GB is still a nice little upgrade. Apple has always charged a lot for RAM upgrades, so having that as extra without the price going up, yeah, that's really good to see. But of course, the existence of these really high-powered MacBook Pro machines does make me ponder what the future of the Mac Studio and Mac Pro are, because there was no M4 announcement for those this week. Now, obviously, that might come tomorrow, although kind of weird leaving those ones to last. They are very specific machines, but let's face it, the Mac Studio and Mac Pro are still working from M2 series processors. They're 2 processor generations behind, but they haven't seen any price drops, and they're really, I think, quite hard machines to justify, given what you can now get or will now be able to get. The new MacBook Pros will, of course, be available from the 8th of November, because that's when all of these M4 machines are actually going to hit the market, but they're available to pre-order now. Those are my thoughts. Thanks for watching.